I just am so happy they told me how long I have, because I'm a talker. And I literally go on and on, so feel free to stop me. Okay, so like probably a lot of you in the room who aren't Muslim, I've talked to Muslim people in the past 3 years since converting, and I always tell them the same thing. Before I came into the mosque for the first time, I literally knew nothing about Islam. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. The first time I got invited to a mosque, it was by someone working in a gas station. He was bringing me up. I had actually just quit my job. I was extremely emotional. And he said, I want you to come hear my speech tomorrow. It's at, it's at Hedaya Mosque. It's right down the road. I know you live in town. I see you in here all the time. I said, I'm not Muslim. I wouldn't know what to do. He said, no. He said, just something in my heart is telling me that this speech is meant for you to hear. I don't know why, but I just feel it. I said, okay. I was literally just quit my job. So I was like not in that mindset of, I kind of was like, well, I really believe in Allah. I believe in God. I have a very strong faith. I was raised by 2 Christians and, grew up with my mom teaching Sunday school. My dad was a deacon in the church. So religion was always like definitely top priority. And we were raised with the morals and values that go along with being a Christian. So when someone says to me, God is telling me that you need to hear this, of course, in my mind I'm like, why is he telling me this? I wish he didn't tell me this. This is not the time. Like, I have to get my life together right now. I don't even know what I'm doing, So I woke up in the morning and I was all over the place. I was still really emotional. And I said, what? I'm gonna go get a massage. I just like need to focus, like physically, mentally. So I went and got a massage. And when I left, I was driving home. I lived in Newtown at the time. And I actually had to pass the mosque to get home. And I'm like, and I look at the clock and it's 5 minutes to 1. And mosque starts at 1. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling kind of guilty at this point. I'm like, but I believe in God. I believe in Allah. And when someone tells me God wants you to do this, I cannot not do it. It's just who I am. So I walked in the mosque, and 3 years ago, my style was the skinny jeans. I had the cropped shirt. My hair was really long. I had it down. I didn't even know you were supposed to cover your hair in the mosque, or I didn't know if you were or weren't. I had no idea. I literally just strolled in off the street, and Sister Iman just, hi, sister, how are you? Like, I was her best friend. I've never met like a more loving, welcoming human being in my entire life. I was a single mother of 4 children, and I used to try to bring my kids to church all the time. And I would walk in the church and they would look for my husband, and I'm like, I don't have one, and I would tell them, I'm a single mom and I really want my kids to be brought up the way I was brought up. And they would sit me in the back row, because like, I don't know, I guess it was like not okay for me to be a single mom. So when I went to the mosque, I started telling Iman my life. I'm a single mom, I live in town. She's like, okay, yeah, just come in, we're about to pray. And she just ushered me right in there, and I'm like literally wearing tight pants, like tight, everything, like short, hair down, no problem. And I just remember a couple of sisters just coming up to me, and without me even really noticing that they did it, they said, oh my gosh, you have this beautiful scarf, we just want to put it on you. They just put it on me. And it was like so natural. And I think the reason it was so natural, because they kept referring to me as sister. And that really touched me, because I actually lost one of my sisters to a drunk driver. So I feel like that was actually like part of the message that God was trying to say to me. Because in Islam, when you lose something, God will replace it with something better. So I lost a sister, but these are all my sisters. All of these Muslim ladies, all these Muslimas are all my sisters now. Every time I go to the mosque, I am greeted as a sister. And I have the biggest family now, and there's only God could have done what he did in my life. So I'm I hear the call to prayer, and I just become completely emotional. I don't understand the language. I have no idea what's going on. And I just start crying. I mean, I just felt like just a complete connection to it, and I can't explain it to this day. I want to thank everyone for being here today. This is like a lot of hard work, and a lot went into this, and I know it's really difficult in this day and age to kind of combat a lot of the Islamophobia that's going on, and if you're in any kind of position to combat it. In Islam, we say if you can't change something, with your action, you can change it inside your heart, you can speak against it, or you can just acknowledge that it's not right. But if you can speak up against something that you see that's not okay, that's not for the betterment of humanity, then you should do that. And that day when I walked into the mosque, I was accepted as a sister. I was in a really bad place that day, and I was welcomed. I never ever stopped going back. I barely ever miss a Jummah. I barely ever miss my Friday prayers. It has to be something like really, really important. I just want to learn about my religion. The more I learn, the more I love. I love talking about Islam. I love sharing it. I encourage all the Muslim people in the audience to talk about the religion, to not just, everyone says, you should just be the religion and that's going to be enough. It's not enough. I knew so many Muslim people in my life, but they never shared the religion with me. So I can understand where the Islamophobia comes from, because if you're not talking about it, you're not sharing, and people, they might not even know you're Muslim. You might be the best person in the world, but if you're not sharing what you know, then it's not really helping anyone. You have to share the knowledge, the power that you have, and every day I come into work, I always am constantly talking about God and Allah. I'm just always talking. God is Allah, just so any of the non-Muslims. Allah means God. So that's a big misconception. A lot of people think it's like another God, or we pray to another God. It is God. It is the one God. And I think that's really important for a lot of people to know. So, like I said, I always tell Sister Iman, and I tell a lot of the Muslim people that I've become close to, there is a big mystery around the religion, and we need to demystify it, because it's such a beautiful religion, and it really does embrace all the different cultures. What I love about it is that it embraces different ethnicities, and no one is excluded. There's no racism in Islam, and that really touched me as a human, because it's really important to me that in any religion, that every single person should be welcome to that religion. You shouldn't only be accepted if you're a certain color, or you're from a certain part of the world, or you have a certain make a certain amount of money. No, everyone should be able to come to the house of Allah, come to the house of God, and feel comfortable. And that's the most important message that I really want to tell everyone today. Thank you again, everyone, for coming. Appreciate it.